And I mean, I don't think it's a controversial statement necessarily to say that Kim Kardashian's not very smart. That's pretty common knowledge, I guess, to most people. But I think that I didn't know she would eventually get sued for doing something that was not very smart, because that's basically what the crux of this lawsuit is. Because uh, the lawsuit against her is for slander and libel, and it came from she posted an Instagram photo that mixed up a death row inmate's photo with another guy who had the same name. I mean, that is like pretty stupid, especially for someone in the public light to mess up like that, and not do enough research. But to be fair, I mean, I could understand how someone would do that. I mean, someone with her amount of success and fame, should be way more careful to where that doesn't happen because of how it can affect someone's life. But I think people can understand where that mistake might come from. But I guess Ivan Cantu, of New York, who's the guy who's suing her, uh, he doesn't really understand that, and he said he's suing Kim, and he claimed, according to NBC News, that quote, the mix-up exposed Cantu to hatred, contempt, and or ridicule. And they also said Cantu suffered serious emotional damage, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, and loss of reputation. So, yeah, and also I don't know how it's and/or ridicule. I feel like it's probably is either was ridicule or it was only ridicule and not those other things. But I guess I don't know how it can be and/or, but whatever. And I understand how all that can happen. I mean, I'm sorry that it happened to the guy, but I feel like it's maybe a bit of an exaggeration to say all those things came from that, just because it was taken down pretty quickly, at least from my understanding. So I don't know. I feel like that might be exaggerating things a little bit, but whatever. I mean, I'm sorry that happened to the guy. So whatever. But anyway, also according to NBC News, he's suing for libel, slander, emotional distress, invasion of privacy, representing him in a false light, and negligence. And I feel like that's kind of a lot. Isn't that maybe a bit much? I mean, why don't you just sue her for third-degree murder as well? I mean, when you're adding all these things to the pile. But Greg Sobo, who's Cantu's attorney, also said, again, according to NBC News, because where I found most of this, he thinks Kim should, quote, know the power of social media. And yeah, I mean, she probably does, but, she kind of did this unknowingly. So saying she knows the power of social media, well, she did the whole thing unknowingly. So it's not like she meant to screw the guy over here. And also the lawyers also said Cantu was, according to NBC News, going through a loss when this happened, which made it harder to deal with. And I mean, again, like a lot of the stuff I pointed out here, I mean, I don't doubt that. That's pretty sad, and I feel sorry for the guy, but this still doesn't really make much of a difference in the lawsuit, I feel like. I don't know, maybe it does to a lawyer. I mean, that's who you got to talk to. But, I mean, it's pretty short. I mean, kind of like summarized, because I know it's pretty short what I was talking about here, but it's obviously, really easy to dislike, Kim Kardashian for a lot of stuff she's done. And she did something pretty stupid here, which is on brand for her, I guess. But yeah, it doesn't mean you can. I mean, I feel like the lawsuit's kind of misinterpreting what happened. I mean, it wasn't intentional. I don't even mean this in terms of like an ignorance of the law thing. I'm not saying ignorance of the law is an excuse, but I just mean ignorance of what she even did. I mean, she posted the guy on purpose. That would be slander and libel and all that. But I don't know. Is it really slander when you did it on accident? That's sort of like careless use of social media. Maybe there should be a law punishing that, but I don't know. Does one even exist? I don't know. I kind of doubt that. But I don't know, the whole going through a loss again. I feel for the guy, but I don't know. Does that really make much of a difference here? All this stuff does really make that much of a difference here. But anyway, I guess again, like they have to talk to a lawyer. I mean, they're the one who knows the most about this, and I don't know. Maybe when they do talk to a lawyer, they'll agree with the plaintiff here. But considering she's going to law school, I mean, I think it's worth pointing out that I wouldn't want her representing me. So I don't know how much of a genius she is. But at the same time, I mean, I feel like the only lawyer who would take a case like this, frankly, would probably be her. So, I mean, if she could sue herself, maybe this would it would make more sense. But no, another lawyer took this case and thought it was a good idea. So, I don't know. It kind of makes me think I'm going to try to avoid doing anything that could possibly get you sued, because it's there's always going to be a lawyer who'll pick up the case, I guess.